nominate Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
The House stands firmly behind the President's vision of using judicious borrowing.
Speaker Abbas Tajuddin says the National Assembly supports President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the prudent use of public resources.
Today, as we commence this national public hearing, we are opening the floor.
And lawmakers call for constitutional amendments that reflect the will and aspirations of Nigerians. This is House Ticket and you are welcome. It is a weekly summary of activities and interventions of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. For this week, we bring you a detailed report of the 8th Annual African Network of Parliamentary Budget Offices Conference, which held in the nation's capital, Abuja, as well as the National Public Hearing organized by the House Standing Committee on Constitution Review, which brought critical stakeholders across the country together. We will wrap up the program with the inauguration of an Ad-hoc Committee set up to oversight the implementation of the Naira for Crude Oil Policy. Let's begin the program after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
The House will pay priority attention to participatory budgeting process and delivery, law reform, electoral reform, women's participation and inclusion in governance, among others.
Thank you for staying tuned. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin has said that the National Assembly supports the current administration on the prudent use of public resources, noting that public debt, if prudently managed, can drive growth and development. He stated this during his keynote address at the 8th Annual African Network of Parliamentary Budget Offices Conference, which held on Monday, 22nd September 2025 at the Continental Hotel in Abuja. The reporters compiled and presented from our studio.
To deliver this keynote address at the 8th Annual African Network of Parliamentary Budget Offices Conference.
While declaring the conference open, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin said, like every modern economy, Nigeria needs to obtain credit to finance critical infrastructure, stimulate growth, and protect vulnerable populations. He added that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured that all borrowing remains targeted, transparent, sustainable, and consistent with the country's medium-term debt strategy and guided by global best practices.
Under President Tinubu's leadership, borrowed funds are being channeled towards transformative projects that would expand revenue-generating capacity, such as power, transport, and agriculture, rather than for consumption. The House stands firmly behind the President's vision of using judicious borrowing as a catalyst for growth and poverty reduction, while simultaneously strengthening oversight mechanisms.
Speaker Abbas also noted that his vision for the African Network of Parliamentary Budget Offices is that it serves as a dynamic platform that enhances the ability of African parliaments to conduct transparent, evidence-based budgeting and maintain rigorous fiscal oversight.
To offer you all an atmosphere of...
Earlier in her welcome address, Admin Head of the National Assembly Budget and Research Office, Dr. Mariam Maruf Yakubu, said the theme of the year, reflecting our dedication to transparency, accountability, and pursuit of excellence in budget analysis and parliamentary support, reinvigorates and shapes policies and fosters innovations across Africa.
The challenge before us are significant, but united by purpose and shared commitment, we are well positioned to chart a new course for budgetary excellence across Africa. On behalf of Nat'l, that is the host, and the people of Nigeria, I send a heartfelt gratitude to you all for your presence and participation.
We are witnessing significant shifts in the global.
Also speaking was the chairperson, ANPBO, as well as the clerk of the National Assembly.
We are witnessing significant shifts in the global order. Geopolitical tensions continue to escalate from conflicts in the Middle East, across our continent as well, to a realignment of long-standing alignments. A major driver of the instability in the increasingly unpredictable nature of the global trade. As highlighted in many of the analyses, the move towards unilateral tariffs and action outside established international framework is creating profound uncertainty. And the UNCTAD has warned that these uncertainties can be more disruptive than the tariffs themselves.
We are inspired by the dedication of each national parliament here present. However, our work is far from done as we face evolving economic, social, and environmental challenges, from debt sustainability to public sector reform. The role of parliamentary budget offices has never been more vital. I encourage us all to use this conference not only as a platform for exchange, but as a springboard for innovation and renewed commitment to fiscal representability.
The event continued with interactive sessions and lasted for 3 days.
The Speaker of the House of Reps.
Still on the same day, the House Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution as amended held a national public hearing.
The review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Declaring the hearing open, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, commended the Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution as amended for providing an open and inclusive platform by bringing together citizens, civil society groups, political parties, amongst other key stakeholders, for giving a true meaning to participatory democracy and nation building.
The ongoing process of each amendment provides us with yet another golden opportunity to strengthen our institutions, deepen federalism, guarantee fundamental rights, and promote justice, equity, and accountability across all spheres of national life. This engagement is particularly important as it resonates strongly with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, which seeks to enthrone good governance, inclusivity, and sustainable development.
President Tinubu further said that the current process is not about the main legal provision, but rather giving Nigerians a renewed confidence that their voices matter in shaping the future of the country's democracy.
I pray that we will take your contribution seriously.
In his keynote address, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin said that the National Assembly will lobby the executive and seek the State Houses of Assembly's concurrence on bills affecting persons with disabilities, traditional rulers, as well as the bill seeking to reserve seats for women in the National and State Houses of Assembly.
As Speaker, I pray that we will take your contribution seriously and consider the bills with diligence, fairness, and urgency. We will engage the state assemblies respectfully and transparently to secure their concurrence. We will continue to work with the executive and with you, the people, to ensure that the amendment process proceeds smoothly.
Speaker Abbas also stated that the hearing marks a significant moment in the nation's democratic journey and legislative process after months of nationwide engagement designed to ensure that Nigerians themselves shape the evolution of the supreme law.
Present your positions with clarity and patriotism. Offer solutions where you see challenges. Ask questions where you seek clarification. Even after today, continue to educate your communities, brief your state assemblies, and hold those accountable. Constitutional reform is a process that relies on your vigilance and your participation.
He then assured Nigerians that the House will conclude the process on time by setting clear timelines in order to vote on the proposals expeditiously and transmit them to the State Houses of Assembly for concurrence to be secured within the current legislative session.
One that commands the respect.
Earlier on, while giving his welcome address, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, who doubles as the chairman of the committee, said that the National Assembly will ensure that the ongoing amendment process will reflect the wishes and aspirations of Nigerians.
This is the solemn mandate of the House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review. Since our inauguration, we have embarked on the most comprehensive, most consultative review process in Nigeria's democratic history. We have held retreats with legal scholars and technical consultants. We have convened dialogues with the judiciary, security agencies, and national women groups. We have engaged with our vibrant civil society and held zonal public hearings all through the 6 geopolitical zones of our great nation.
Right Honorable Kalu also noted that the House is considering 87 bills that touch on critical issues of public and national interest in the amendment of the Constitution.
These are not the fixed positions of the National Assembly, but a compilation of the aspirations and contributions of citizens from all walks of life, yet to pass through the sieving net of the National Assembly at the federal level and the pruning fork of the scrutiny of the state houses of assembly. Today, as we commence this national public hearing, we are opening the floor one last time for those who, for any reason, may have missed the regional sections. We do this to remove every excuse of not being heard, to ensure, in good faith, that the final product of this exercise belongs not to the Parliament, but is accepted by all citizens.
He then appreciated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his visionary leadership and renewed hope agenda, which has created the political will and the enabling environment for the constitutional amendment. He also recognized the Nigerian Governors Forum amongst other groups for their support.
I therefore want to charge all Nigerians.
The President of the Senate, as well as other invited guests, gave goodwill messages.
I therefore want to charge all Nigerians to own up this exercise, because the Constitution is not for the Parliament, is not for the courts, neither is it for the executive, but for the entire Nigerian people. I urge you to seize this ample opportunity presented by the House of Representatives to boldly come up and ventilate your feelings, all geared towards having a better constitution that we can actually call ours.
Nigeria's experience has shown that no constitution is ever perfect or final. It must remain a work in progress, evolving in response to the realities, aspirations, and challenges of the people it governs. The State Houses of Assembly, as critical partners in the constitutional amendment process, play a vital role in ensuring that whatever reforms emerges from this process do not remain at the level of debate in Abuja, but are ratified, domesticated, and implemented across our states.
Our hope is that this constitutional review will consolidate your country as a united, strong, stable, inclusive, and progressive democracy with a political level playing field, offering enhanced guarantee for the respect of fundamental rights, building a sustainable and social-minded model responding to the needs of citizens, particularly those most vulnerable, on the basis of a solid economy spurred by free and fair competition and by the formidable entrepreneurial spirit of Nigerians.
There is productivity in disability.
Invited stakeholders made their various submissions on the proposed amendments.
This is not about privilege. It is about justice. It is time to give back to women a fraction of what they've always given to the men. At this stage of my life, I should have retired from active politics and devoted myself solely to quiet reflection. But how can I? How can I sit back when I see every single day the injustice and exclusion that Nigerian women face in this country? My conscience will not allow me to keep silent. I must speak, not to myself, but for the millions of women whose voices remain unheard, even though they toil, sing, dance, face danger, struggling with men to win election.
We see ourselves as a bridge, linking the gap between the governing and the governed, which is actually causing a lot of problems now in security and other issues in this nation, because that gap has been broken between the level of governance and the people who are governed. No link. Policies are being prepared, programs are being prepared, but implementation of these programs and policies cannot go down because no link. So we are now urging the authorities, especially this committee, to ensure that this gap is being bridged.
Women with disabilities can become the best governors, the best senators, the best members of the House of Representatives, the best members of the state houses of assembly, and any elective or appointive positions. And don't forget, there is productivity in disability. What did I say? There is productivity in disability. Include us. Include us.
Thank you.
Include us.
Thank you.
Now.
Welcome back. And in case you just joined us, the program is House Ticket, a weekly digest that educates you about the activities of your lawmakers, both within and outside the National Assembly. The program airs daily on the Parliamentary channel of the NTA. On Wednesday, 24th September 2025, the House Ad-hoc Committee on the Implementation and Oversight of Naira for Crude Oil Policy held its inaugural meeting.
To welcome you all to the inauguration of this ad hoc committee.
In his speech, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin said the exercise is imperative as it marks a critical step towards ensuring transparency, accountability and efficiency in one of the most critical initiatives in the energy sector. The Speaker, who was represented by the Minority Leader, Representative Kingsley Chinda, appreciated the committee as well as the stakeholders present for their commitment to the national assignment.
This committee has been entrusted with the important task of investigating the implementation, effectiveness and interagency coordination of the Naira for Crude Oil Policy. Its work is vital to ensuring that the objectives of the policy are met and that any gaps in execution are identified and corrected. The House expects nothing less than a thorough, impartial, and well-documented process that will contribute to the overall stability of our economy. The Naira for Crude Oil Policy carries significant implications for Nigerians' foreign exchange stability, revenue generation, and long-term energy security.
Speaker Abbas called for a thorough examination of the framework, which will enable the committee to determine whether the policy is achieving its intended objectives identify gaps in the implementation, and highlight areas where adjustment may be required.
Distinguished colleagues,
earlier in his welcome address, Chairman of the committee, Representative Boniface Emerengwa, appreciated the leadership of the 10th House for entrusting him with the critical assignment that speaks directly on the heart of the nation's economy. He highlighted some of the challenges in harnessing the natural resource, which has failed to translate into maximum value for Nigerians.
the volatility of the foreign exchange markets, over-dependence on the dollar, and persistent challenges facing our economy makes it imperative that we employ innovative ways to strengthen our currency, reduce external vulnerabilities, and secure long-term benefits for Nigerians. The Naira for Crude Oil Policy is one of such innovation. It seeks to provide a framework where transactions in our crude oil sector can increasingly be denominated into Naira rather than in foreign currencies.
Representative Emerengwa further stated that the shift, if properly structured, will not only boost confidence in the Naira, but also reduce pressure on foreign reserves, stimulate domestic economic activities, and enhance the country's sovereignty over its resources.
My expectation,
invited key stakeholders assured the committee of their readiness to work and support them in carrying out the national assignment.
A key area of interest to DAPMAN while you're doing your work is the cost build-up, the actual costs at which refineries receive the crude oil that is being sold in the country, because this is a key factor in what the man at the pump gets the price of the fuel that he's buying. We want a situation in which when the man in the street, through transparency and openness in the pricing of crude oil to refinery, is able to, with all the parameters considered, get and assume a guess or even calculate what price of petrol he is getting, so that nobody will accuse any other person of cheating or hiding or doing any other thing.
my expectation by this invitation tells me that the challenge we tabled before the House Committee on Downstream and Midstream was actually tabled before the House of Reps, which has informed this meeting, and it's a follow-up to hear us as a group, and then for the committee to go back and do what they will do to position us to really be productive and make our own contribution to the economy. I think at the end of the day, what is important is that this meeting will have impact. We will remember in time to come that from this meeting something happened. And by reason of what has happened, those in the field can smile home, employ people, improve productivity.
The Deputy Chairman of the Ad-hoc Committee, Representative Kelechi Nwugu, gave the closing remarks.
The inauguration of this Ad hoc Committee to investigate the implementation of the Naira for Crude Oil Policy marks a significant milestone in our collective mandate to discharge our legislative oversight function in pursuit of economic growth, transparency, and accountability. We are committed to conduct a true, impartial, and transparent investigation, engaging with the relevant stakeholders and providing recommendations that will inform future legislative policy. We appreciate the trust placed in us and assure Nigeria and Nigerians that we will discharge our duties with diligence, integrity, and patriotism.
This is the much we can take on this package, hoping we've been able to educate you on the workings of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thanks for watching, and remember that you can follow House Ticket on our social media handles showing on your screen. Until I come your way again, enjoy the rest of your day.